Good morning, guys. Uh, Welcome to Tony Forex Academy. And today I want us to talk about something that I've studied for some time about market structure. So let me take you through what is market structure for those who don't know what is market structure. Market structure is simply the pattern of price movement on a chart. Now, in the market, there are only three things that happens. Okay, price is either going up, or price is coming down, or price is ranging. In other words, when price is always consolidating, meaning it doesn't give a clear direction of whether the price is going up or price is going down. So how can you do this analysis using the concept of smart money? Okay, so when you look at this, we'll talk about two things and get the difference. So first, we'll talk about what is break of structure. Okay, this is a term that has really helped me to get into trades with confidence. Okay, now a break of structure happens when price breaks a previous swing point in the direction of the trend. Keyword is direction of the trend, whether it is going up or going down. So let me show you on the trading view panel. Okay, now when you look at this, let me remove this indicator. Okay, so this is a GBP USD and this is a daily candle. Okay, so as we can see here, how is the market behaving? The market is going up and down. Okay, so the red candle represents the sellers and the green candle represents the buyers. So if we take, for example, this market, we can start to map out our directions. For example, let's start with this point. Okay, market came down, went up, went down, went up. Okay, so take, for example, this situation. Okay, okay, here. Okay, that will be like our high point. Okay, and then we put this horizontal line here. Okay, okay, after that, let me put this one here, around here. Okay, now what happens? What do you notice? Remember, these are human beings, okay, in the market. Okay, what happens? Price came down, went up, and now price is trying to go down. This is also another zone. Okay, you can map it using that. Okay, so what happened? This is a daily candle. This is the pattern. Okay, price came down, went up, came down, went up, and now price is trying to come down. Okay, now how do you get your entry from such kind of a market? Normally we start with a higher time frame. A higher time frame will give you the bias of getting the direction. Okay, then you use the lower time frame to do what? To get your entries. Okay, so there are two things that I want us to learn in this type of scenario. Remember, I want us to learn breakout structure and change of character, and how can you get your entries using these two concepts. Okay, so breakout structure is when price breaks the previous swing point. Okay, swing point. Okay, and then it follows the direction of the trend. Now the importance of using breakout structure is because it will signal you that price is continuing in that direction of the trend. The difference between breakout structure and change of character is change of character will normally signal a possible reversal. So let's try to map out using a lower time frame. Let me go to 4-hour time frame and we see. Okay, so I want to show you guys something here. Okay, price has been going up. Okay, now that price has been going up, our first, let's see, break of structure, let's use this one. Price broke that level. What happened? It broke that level, it also broke this swing high. Okay, so you notice that every time price breaks these swing points, what happens? Price goes up. So if you missed your trade, for example here, and then you want to take your buys, what happens? You will wait for price to come back here. If it breaks this point slightly, you take your buys. Again, somebody missed buys opportunities in this direction of the trend. Price came to this point and then it revisited that point again. It revisited that point again and then it went up. Okay, then it came down. Now you missed your buys, but you want to take buy positions. You wait for price to come back to this swing point. Once it breaks that swing point, the previous swing point, it goes up. Okay, and now it reached this high point. Okay, and then it started dropping. Now a change of character will occur when now price breaks this previous swing low. Okay, so for example, in this type of market, we're waiting for price to come back and break this level here. Okay, once you see price coming to break this level, we will have a change of direction or a change of character, meaning downtrend is now confirmed clearly. But in this case, we are having a bearish market on GBP USD, but we are also able to see a break of structure in that direction. For example here, okay, this is a swing low. Then what happens when the price comes back again? This part, it drops. Okay, in the direction of the trend. Okay, another break of structure here. Okay, and now you can see different times. Okay, so for example, this is the current swing low. What happens? Let's wait for price to come back, and if you want to take your sell positions, you'll wait for this market to come here. The moment it breaks this level, you wait for it to retest it, then you drop with it. If it drops to 1.33401 and slightly breaks it because it's our previous swing low, you'll take your sell positions going downwards. Okay, so these two concepts have really helped me to scale up my trades. Go back to the definition. Change of character means the trend may be changing direction. Okay, unlike break of structure, which confirms continuation. Okay, change of character signals a possible reversal. You can use these two concepts. You can use this concept while doing your market structure analysis. Okay, and then you can potentially get into good trades. Okay, let's take another pair, for example Euro USD. These are 4-hour time frame. Okay, what has been happening in this type of market? Up and down, up and down. Okay, let's start with this one. Okay, price came up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and now price is down. Okay, so what can you see? This type of pattern, it's highly predictable. Price came up, down, down. Okay, so you want to get your entries in this type of market. What do you do? What do you do in such a scenario? You'll ask yourself, what is happening in this type of a market? Remember, this is the lowest point that we were in June 2026-24 on a Wednesday. So for example, you mark your low, and then the highest point this market reached recently is at this level. Okay, so you want to get your entries, whether buys or sells. Let's try to go to a lower time frame to get entries. The daily candle, let's put daily candle to get a market direction. Okay, the daily candle is trying to be it's trying to be bullish. Okay, so let's try to get our entry for buys in this type of market. Let's come back to 15 minutes time frame. The moment we come back to that level, what happens? Okay, you want to get your entries in this type of a market. Okay, you'll wait for some pullbacks before you get into this type of a market. Okay, so we're able to see. Let's start with break of structure. Okay, let's start with these. There's a break of structure here, another break of structure here, and another break of structure happened here. So you can target a few pips in this type of a market because it's still bullish. According to our daily buyers, this market is still bullish. You can target a few pips, but in this type of a market, I would advise you to wait for pullbacks, strong pullbacks, before you enter this type of a market. Okay, you do not be in a hurry. You cannot get all perfect entries in all currencies, so you be patient with the market. So that's how I use these two concepts of smart money concept to map out my setups and get into entries using the break of structure and change of character. Now remember, three things that happens in the market. The market is either going up, the market is either going down, and the market is either ranging at any given time. Okay, so you have to understand that what time do you enter the market. You cannot come during midday when the market had already gone down or up and you want to enter the market. Some people woke up so early to get such kind of entries. So you have to know your time, your session. When time will I get the perfect entry? And that's why some of us wake up very early, or rather we don't even sleep, so that we get the perfect entries. Not really perfect, but the best entries that we can get into and avoid losses. So stay tuned for the next upload. I will explain more about the market structure and how to get this type of entries. Okay, see you guys, and please don't forget to subscribe. This is for educational purposes only. It's not a financial advice. And start trading forex. Okay.